We are knocking on the door of NFL draft time. Today, we will be breaking down different scenarios in all rounds for the Jets. Trade back. What do we do if we recoup a second round pick? How far do we trade back? That and much more in today's show. Let's roll.
Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer and Jets legend Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Law.
Here we are, Wednesday morning. I got off from school today, so I'm like, gotta go talk to you guys. And I see Alan here. Long time no show. Hope all is well. CL. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's what we're gonna start the show with. So last Wednesday was my last show. Before this, because I was doing Gangrene Gossip, my weekly show with my co-host Joseph, who's another young, knowledgeable, diehard Jet fan, and YouTube took it down because of a policy that something with age, and I had to go back and forth with YouTube support to get my live streaming rights back. I appealed it. I got them. I got them on Sunday, but got it back on Sunday. But things, I've been a little busy at school lately. All is well though. I appreciate you asking, Alan. So yeah, today we're gonna start off. We're gonna analyze really different scenarios for what I think is best for the Jets in this class. As I don't know if you guys saw, but on Twitter, not on Twitter, on my website that I posted out on Twitter, I released my first 7 round mock draft. So I analyzed the picks and everything. So we're gonna look at that too. So let's just start round one basics. We're sitting at pick 10 right now. Pick 10, interesting spot. We can go a lot of different directions. There's still the possibility that we go all in and trade up and get maybe a Marvin Harrison type of player. Do we stay at 10, look at the offensive line, or do we trade back a little and recoup some additional picks? So in my mock draft, I had the Jets trading with the Raiders, going to pick 13 and getting a second round pick, number 44 overall, and the Jets just give up pick 10. I like this moves because this just gives us an extra second round pick to move back only 3 spots. And I like the Raiders coming up, like I said, 3 spots away, and also they're in need of a quarterback. And the simulator that I used to generate this mock draft, JJ McCarthy was there at 10. So I traded back with the Raiders, got that package, and I was really, really satisfied with it. I really like Fontenot. That's who I had the Jets selecting first. His versatility is just whew. And he ran a 5.0140 and a 32. He had a 32.50 vertical. You could really plug him anywhere. He allowed 2 sacks last year. Very versatile and solid when versatile. So that's why I really like him. And we have to, just because we signed Tyron Smith and Moses, this offensive line is not done. They're not done. Moses and Tyron Smith are both injury prone veterans on 1 year deals. 1 year deals. I'll repeat it again. Injury prone veterans on 1 year deals. I know we have Timmon and AVT, but if we can bring Fontenot in, get that little big young three kind of going. I really, really like that possibility. So that's why I like Fontenot in the first round. And then the second round, with our number 44 pick that we received from the Raiders, had the Jets selecting, you all know him, wide receiver, Florida, Ricky Pearsall. I really, really like Pearsall. I think he's just a 4.4140. I like. He's 6'1", a little smaller guy. He's a really crafty route runner. That's what I like. If you can, could you imagine opposing defenses with, you have Pearsall and Garrett Wilson in the slot, Mike Williams lined up on the outside, and Breece Hall in the backfield? That is just nasty. And then keep in mind you have a Hall of Fame quarterback throwing the ball to them. He played 12 games last year with the Gators, finished with 965 yards, and I can't even imagine Wilson and Pearsall on the inside. That'd be beautiful. And then the third round pick that we've had, and we lost our original second to in the Rodgers trade, so that's why I felt it was important to recoup it. I have the Jets selecting Jaden Hicks, the safety out of Washington State. Jets have not been very active on the free agent safety market. Really surprising because this free agent safety class is just crazy. But they did re-sign Chuck Clark. They let Jordan Whitehead walk. We still have Ashton Davis is a free agent right now. So right now the front two are looking like Tony Adams and Chuck Clark. And Hicks, someone I really like him. I think he kind of fits that the win now formula. Lance Zierlein of NFL Network described him as aggressive as a run and hit striker. So I really like someone who's going to be aggressive, try to knock the ball free. And third round pick, I really like it. He ran a 4.47 40, and if we could just bring more pieces to help develop behind a guy like Chuck Clark or a guy like Tony Adams, I really like that option. And then two fourth round picks. So the first one, number 111 overall, I had the Jets selecting Bucky Irving, running back out of Oregon. I still think the Jets need to add a running back. That RB2 veteran proven guy, because fifth round pick from 2023, Izzy Abandokonda, is in line to back up Breece Hall next year. So, they need to add another back, whether it's in the draft, free agency, or both. I like the possibility of both. Irving ran a 4.5540. He can run, rush with the ball, and catch with the ball. So I like that. And Lance Zierlein, NFL Network, compared his style of play to Texans running back Dameon Pierce. And someone I like a guy like him because you can use him in the backfield and to catch passes. So that's why I like him. And then last year he finished with 1,180 yards and 11 touchdowns. And he'd be if we selected him there, he'd be like a day 3 developmental kind of piece. I don't think he'd get a ton of playing time next year. I think it would kind of be like what Izzy's role is right now. What Izzy's role last year was on this team. So I like that. I like that there, a little developmental kind of piece. Number 134 overall, I have the Jets selecting Jordan Travis. He's coming off that leg injury, but boy, he's smaller, but if he can develop behind Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers, I think he can be a very, very nice asset for this team. When he played, he finished with 20 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. I think he's a ton of upside for a fourth round pick like that. And we still need that at quarterback 3. Zach Wilson needs to be out of the building ASAP. So I think quarterback 3, I think Travis would be a great option for the Jets in the third round. And then the Jets, we have 3 picks remaining. We have the 6th round pick, the 7th round pick, and then the Mr. Irrelevant pick. So here we are. Let's move over to the 6th round, 185th overall. Take tight end AJ Barner out of Michigan. He was a team captain actually at Indiana, and then he chose to, I'm going to enter the portal, and I'm going to go play for Michigan. He's a solid blocker. I don't think he'd get any reps really, if I'm being completely honest, on this offense early. I think all of his reps would come on special teams, and I'm okay with that. Similar to what Kuntz kind of was last year, like Yeboah, something like that. And again, 6th round pick, just chances of a guy like that really turning into anything are slim. But, why not take a shot? I think, again, upside for a 6th round pick. That's what we're looking for. Upside. Then the 7th round pick, we take center Matt Lee out of Miami. The only reason I took him here, honestly, is because he's height. He's 6'4". He's going to, just that height alone, it is going to draw so much attention from opposing defenses. So that's what I like. Again, chances that he allowed 1 sack and 1,323 pass blocking snaps in college. You just got to take a flyer on him and hope he could develop behind Tippmann, and just hope the 7th rounder could amount to something. But now here we are, Mr. Irrelevant pick, round 7, number 257 overall. have the Jets selecting Dallas Grant, linebacker out of Toledo. I chose this because we C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams in this linebacker room right now, and C.J. Mosley developed Quincy Williams. Why not bring another guy in who hopefully C.J. Mosley can develop and make him half the player as Quincy Williams is? I mean, half the player of Quincy Williams would be incredible for a mystery relevant pick, and they could use some younger pieces in that room. We do have Zaire Barnes, we do have Jamie and Sherwood. They didn't play a ton. Why not add Grant and hope he could turn into half the player that Quincy Williams is. So that was my mock draft, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, everyone who's watching, make sure first to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also type in the chat if you want to see a mock draft simulator this show, because I definitely love to do a simulator. But before we get to any simulator or other draft stuff, we have a caller on the line, so let's go over to him. We got Bobby joining the show. Bobby,
how you doing, Connor?
I'm
You're
doing
very
great.
good at what you say. You're a very smart kid at your age.
Thank you.
And I just have a question for you, if you know this.
Mhm.
How does the teams know they get the last pick? How do they know each year?
So basically, it has to do with compensatory picks. So a lot of the day 3 picks that you get are like if you lose X amount of free agents, like solid free agents that
Yeah.
really help the team will get awarded what's called a compensatory pick. So like when Bryce Huff left, the Jets got a 3rd round pick because he was
Okay.
such a valuable player. The Jets were given a 3rd round pick just for his loss. So that's how those picks are kind of determined. But good question. You got anything else to say? Yeah. How you feeling about your Giants?
Oh my God! First of all, I'm not very happy with them. They get rid of Barkley. Look at what team he ends up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what team he ended up on, huh?
Eagles.
And Huff did too. So you're not too happy about that.
Jets got Reddick. Take Reddick.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
He's a solid. I'm sure you're happy to get him out of the division because he
Yeah.
Daniel Jones probably has nightmares about Reddick.
Oh, definitely does. Yeah, he has nightmares about everybody on the defense. And then look what Barkley's going to do to our defense. He's going to run like 200 yards over our defense on the defense.
Yeah,
because every Eagle running back gives us a hard time every year.
Yeah, and it's the Eagles always have like these not no name, but these small like Boston Scott. Like Boston Scott has had games where he just like against every team in the National Football League.
Especially the Giants.
Yeah, Boston Scott. I mean, there'll be one game where he gets 80 yards on the ground and 50 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. So it's like,
yep. And you don't expect that against the Giants defense. No. I think the Eagles, one guy scored 3 touchdowns against us. And he was an Eagle fan. Person.
Would you want, like, for the Giants, who would you want? Would you want McCarthy? Would you want Neighbors? Would you want Joe Alt? I know.
I want Joe Alt. I don't want a quarterback. We need to get, I don't know if we have enough money to get a backup quarterback. I don't think so. But they are looking at that McCarthy kid.
I like him, but I really like McCarthy, and I'm hoping he falls to 10 for the Jets for a team that's going to want to come up for him, and give the Jets all these picks to kind of go up and grab McCarthy, a team that needs a quarterback. So, McCarthy, I've been high on him, but I just don't think he's like a top 5 quarterback. I think the drop off between like a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels, and the McCarthy for like 1 to 2 picks, a name that's been like for all teams that need a quarterback that the stock is just Bo Nix. Now there's talk that he's
I heard of him too.
Like a top 10, top 15 guy, and I'm like, but there are a lot of quarterbacks that I expect. Like, well, obviously you have Daniels, McCarthy, May, Daniels, McCarthy, May, Williams. Obviously, you have JJ McCarthy and Bo Nix. Penix is a name that is coming on. I'm just concerned with his injuries. I don't know if he'll fit right. But Bobby, one more thing before we let you go. We're in the second wave of free agency right now. If there's one move you could see your Giants want to make, what would they be?
I want to talk about your Jets too. I just heard this.
Of course. Of course.
Uh,
What's one move
I
that the Jets you think you want the Jets
I
to make in
was
the
listening to Paul, Paul Greenboy.
I love Paul. I love Paul
Yeah.
Blagren.
Okay. This guy called in the show and it was talking about the Dallas Cowboy wide receiver CC Lamb. Would you
Mhm.
like to pick him up?
Um, I like Lamb a lot, so I don't think the Jets will go after him at all.
No.
But he's a
Okay.
name in the 2020 draft. The Jets were on the clock. He was available. The Jets
Yeah.
chose not to roll the dice on him.
Who did
They
they
went
pick up instead?
they went with Mekhi Becton, who's now a free agent, and just woof.
Okay. Well, the Jets in there. I don't know if you remember way back when the
Mhm.
Jets could have got Dan Marino
Over
over
Kenny
Ken
O.
O'Brien. What?
I said over Kenny O.
Ken O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next one they could have Jerry Rice over Altoon.
Yeah, I know the Jerry like Altoon though is still Altoon
No,
was
I
still
like
one of the
Altoon, but
he
look at
was he
Jerry
was great.
Rice.
I know, look at Jerry Rice, but I what did Marine like I know everyone's gonna
No,
say,
he didn't
oh
win the Super Bowl. No, I agree with you.
well
Singular.
he made it to two, won his
Yeah,
rookie year, he lost, and then the
yeah.
other one he lost too. So it's
Hmm.
like, what did the Jets miss out on? They wouldn't have
Not
won any yeah.
really. Well, it
Yeah.
would have been maybe a different team, maybe if the Jets had him.
I yeah, I don't know, but
Maybe.
after Namath, the quarterbacks just kind of went, whoof, just
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah,
Namath,
yeah,
Todd, Richard
yeah.
Todd
Oh,
was not
Richard
great.
Todd. No, no, no. Richard Todd. No.
Then you
My
had
brother still has nightmares about that quarterback.
and then you got Kenny O, and then it was Testaver. I
No,
thought
he was good. And then you know who else was pretty good? Mark Sanchez for your team.
Sanchez was like Sanchez and Fitzmagic have been like the two really
Yeah.
quarterbacks like as of late that have really
He made
done
it to the
anything.
playoffs with you guys twice. The
Yeah, yeah,
finals.
AFC Championship, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was I've been taught like well, a caller from my show has been we've been talking about like top 5 best Jets
Yeah.
free agent signings of all time. I went Kevin Mawai,
Yeah,
Curtis
he's good.
Martin,
Uh-huh.
Vinny Testaverde, Bart Scott. Well, no, we did. It was like March Madness theme, so we did
Oh
Final
no,
Four.
that's good. I like those pictures. You did good.
Yeah,
Hey,
Bart.
I don't like YouTube should have you on more often. I don't care about how old you are. You're a smart kid. What about
Thank you.
Johnny Ice Cream? Does this affect him too? He's young kid, younger than you.
I'd love to have him on. I know.
No,
I
does
don't.
this affect him? His YouTube channel?
No, it was actually like an error. It was an error in their system, so they like
Oh, okay.
miscalculated like an algorithm or something.
Okay, I
And
hope that you get to 1,000 so you can start getting paid. You're a great kid.
thank you. Yeah, super
I
chats,
like.
memberships,
When
they will
is your
help us.
next live show?
Next live show. Um, you know, do you have Twitter?
Yes.
Follow me on Twitter at NYFlightJets and
Okay.
make sure you turn notifications on because I always tweet out when
Okay.
about an hour to an hour and a half before I start a show because
And
my
who's
shows
your next special guest? You have any next special guest coming up
yeah,
with?
so week before the draft I have Jordan Reed of ESPN
Mm-hmm.
draft analyst. I have him coming on. A couple film analysts. I don't know, Andrew Fialco, who's on Jake's show
Oh,
with
he's
me.
good. I like it. He's a young kid. Yeah, I like him too.
He's awesome.
He's always
Um
on Jake's show.
And then I don't know if you know Joe Blewett of Jet X Factor. He's another.
Yeah, he was on the. He's on. Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he does his Blewett Blitz film reviews. So have those guys coming on, and just hoping
And you
for.
had Marty Lyons one time. I heard.
I did have Marty Lyons on, and he'll be
I
coming back
met him
on
in
soon.
person. I met him in person.
Yeah, Marty is a really really good guy.
You want to hear a story before I leave about Marty Lyons?
Let me guess. I think I've heard this one. It wasn't on
Which
my
one?
show.
Yeah.
Where you met all the Sack Exchange players in the elevator with your brother,
Yes. Yeah, with
and
my
you
brother. Yes.
and your brother asked him Mark Gastineau about his wife when
How's
he
your
was
wife? Yes.
in the
Yes. I
middle of a
think it was
divorce.
the Jake show, wasn't it? The Jake
It
show.
was no, it was Nick Shine show, proud New York Jet fan. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. So
Yeah, you
Appreciate
remember that show?
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a great
Well,
rest of your
Connor,
day.
you're awesome. A plus. I can't wait to give you some money because you
Thank
deserve it.
you.
Because you're a great kid.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you, Bobby. Great call by Bobby. Everyone now, type in the chat if you guys would like to see a mock draft simulator because just want to hear what you guys have to say because I'd love to do a simulator. And actually, I'll put a poll in the chat. I'll open a poll right now. See if we want to do the mock draft simulator. But great call by Bobby. And I agree with everything he was saying about literally every comment he made of Giants, Jets. The only thing I didn't 100% agree with was the possibility of the Giants getting Joe Alt. I think the Giants should go after a guy like kinda McCarthy type of. But going back to the Jets, that was the mock draft that I put out before Bobby came on. That's what I felt was the best move for the Jets. Got to recoup a second round pick, stuff like that. So that's what I like. But guys, if you're watching, type in the chat if you would like to see a mock draft simulator and how many rounds, if so. But appreciate everyone watching on this Wednesday morning. But talk starts now. I think if we trade back like that, and Zach Rosenblatt of the Athletic had the Jets trading back to 20 with the Steelers and selecting Brian Thomas Jr. And then with their second round pick selected Kingsley Sumadia, I think is how you say his last name, tackle out of BYU. And then third round, I think he had I think it was Brian Costello who had the Jets taking the tackle out of Yale in the third round. So there are so many different directions that this team could go in. That's what I like about the flexibility with this pick. That's what I'm a big fan of. You can even go up and go all in for a weapon. There's just so much you could do with this pick, and that's what I really like. Guys, I think we are gonna do a mock draft simulator to wrap up the show. Let's see, Pro Football Network. We're going to do the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. All right, so let me get this on the screen. We're going to go. We'll go 4 rounds. We'll go 4 rounds because, I feel like those are really the core picks. Let's see. Share my screen. Here it is. Let me know if you guys could see it. Mock draft simulator right up here. Let's go. Alrighty. Ooh, May at 1. Okay. Let's see. Neighbors at 5. I could see that. I could see that. Ooh, Arnold. Let's see who they go with. No way Alt falls to us. Whew. Let's just check the trades out. 25th. Nah. Alt's there. Type in the chat what you think we should do. I think Alt is 100% the way to go here. If he's there at 10. I think you 100% got to take him. Type in the chat. See if you guys like the pick. I think Alt's 100% way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and select him here at 10 overall. And it's not letting me click draft. Oh, there we go. So now we don't have another pick until 72. It's going to be a little. But if Alt could fall to 10, got 100% snag him. If he's there at 10, snag him 100% every day, all day. Let's see. Still got a little, but Joe Alt, great first round pick. If you're just joining in, we selected Joe Alt, pick 10 overall.
Hyundai Ioniq 5 versus.
So let's see. Still got let's see what's Joe. Ooh, cornerback at 40, 47. That's interesting. Ooh, Ruka Rojo. He's there. It's a really, really nice Oh, he's off. He's a really nice, really, really solid tackle. So yeah, so we still got a couple more picks to go. That's what I don't like. Little after that one pick, kind of dies down a little, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And we went Joe Alt in the first round. If Jalen Polk, Malachi Corley, please be there, Polk. Please make it past a couple picks. Ah, there he goes. Ooh, Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson, wide receiver out of Michigan. He had a great Ricky Pearsall right before us. Damn it. He had a great trip into he had a great Mobile Senior Bowl. Great. His stock went boom, boom. I'm gonna take him. Still need to add wide receivers. In mine, I had the Jets. In my mock draft, I had the Jets selecting Pearsall. So little kind of still going wide receivers, similar to that. So we got 111, 125, and then since it's a 4-round mock, I'm gonna wrap up the show. But my YouTube live chat for some reason is turned off right now. I have no idea why. So I'm gonna make sure I can fix this. Let's see. Anything with StreamYard? Let's see. I'll make sure it's definitely fixed by next show so everyone can type in the chat. Someone just tweeted at me about the YouTube. Okay, almost here. Blake Corum's still on the board. That's interesting. Irving over Corum. So here I had the Jets selecting Bucky Irving. He's not there. Still think we need to go running back, so I'm going to take Estime. Audric Estime, running back out of Notre Dame. He's a really, really good player. Really solid player. Again, whether it's Estime, Irving, Corum, any of these guys, they're all not going to have big roles on this team for next year. Not at all. And so let me just check the quarterback list because I think I'm going to go quarterback with this last pick for this here. Let's see. Quarterbacks. Milton. Oof, I think Milton is a little bit of a... Yeah, I think Milton's a bit of a reach with all these guys off the board. Nah. We're just gonna keep it Keep normal, stay in the 4th round. Let's see. We're going to go Jalen Ford, linebacker out of Texas, and that's going to wrap up the mock, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, I had the Jets taking Dallas Grant out of Toledo with the Mr. Irrelevant pick to hope that CJ Mosley can kind of develop him. With that quarterback situation, if that happened on draft day, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking Joe Milton in the 4th round. And I think he's the next best option. And I mean, another linebacker who you can bring in, help develop. Hope he could turn in, like I said about Dallas Grant, to half the player that Quincy Williams is. So that's why I took him. And, I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you guys for watching. And, I'll make sure this live chat thing, I'm going to go YouTube support, and I have been going back and forth, got my live streaming rights back. So I'll definitely make sure to inquire about the live streaming chat. I'll get it fixed before next show so everyone can type in the chat. Do whatever you guys want. Thank you guys for watching. As always, JTS, Jets, Jets, Jets.